Hello students. So what we're doing in this video is I'm going to be giving you guys an introduction to CSS. Okay, CSS is cascading style sheets, and the key word in this is style. So what CSS is it describes how an HTML element should look like. And you will remember that when we did our pet shop, we did things like we put in H1 tags, okay, and I said not to worry about how it looks. It'll all align on the left. Do not worry about colors or font sizes or anything like that. And the reason is because we do all of that with CSS, okay, and this is where we're up to at the moment. So we've got all our HTML elements in our website, and now we can start making the website look good. But first of all, we need to learn a bit about CSS because it is it's not complicated, but the amount of learning is endless, and as long as we know the basics, we can get started with it. We can do things, but if we don't know the basics, it's very difficult. Okay, so to learn the basics, right, so we're going to go back to our first website that we did, and we've made these two pages here, the first page and the second page. Okay, so I'm going to open them up and just remind you how they look like. So we've got this heading at the top, and we've got a link here, take me to the second page, and there's our second page, and unfortunately we don't have the link to go back, so I might just fix that up. I'm going to edit these with Notepad. I'm going to copy this, and then we'll go into the second page. We'll edit that with Notepad, so we've got both tabs open here. I'm just going to paste that here. Now we need to change the href. Change the label, first page, that's good. We'll save that. We'll go back here, if I F5 that. So my second page, click me to go to the first page, click me to go to the second page. Okay, that's excellent. Right, now we have actually already done a very little bit of CSS within our HTML tag, and I'm going to show you something that we did. I'm not exactly sure what page we did it in, but I got you guys to write style equals, and then we wrote the color is, let's say, red. Okay, now you will notice that that word style is there, and that's exactly the same word that we've got in our CSS, cascading style sheets, and this is exactly what it's about. So if I save that, we go to our first page. There we go. You can see what we've done is we've made the first, the heading red. Okay. Now what I've done there is I have put that inside this HTML tag. Okay. And we can do that, all sorts of things. We can do font sizes, font colors, margins, all sorts of different things by placing them inside the tags, HTML tags, using that style attribute. But there's a lot of work in that, and it's a lot easier. Actually, what I'm going to do is, just to give you an example, I'm going to have two of these tags here. I'll just call this next line. Okay, I'm going to take that styles away from that. Okay, and then I'll just show you what it's going to look like so that we both know what's going on. So we'll refresh this page. Oops, what's going on? Refresh that page. We've got two H1 tags, and they're both black. They're black because down here we haven't said any color. Now I could put the style in each of those tags, and we could have both of those turn up red. But there's an easier way. What we can do is we can go up to the head part of the document, and we can just write style, and then we will come down a couple of lines and we'll put an end style tag in, and then inside this we will write H1. We need a curly bracket. Oh, what's going on there? We need a curly bracket, and then we can write color. Oh dear, typing's not going well. And we'll make it red again, and we'll need to put a semicolon in there. And then if we save that, now we have got them both H1 tags displaying red. Okay, now you see what I've done is we've got H1 tag there, we've got an H1 tag there. Up here we have put the style tag, and then inside the style we have set all H1 tags to be of color red. And we can also add other things. We can say we want the font. Ooh. We want the font size we'll say we'll go 25. Okay, and then we save that, and hopefully we should see this font size change. No, 25 was not a good thing. We've got to better put pixels there. Control S, F5, there we go, they've both gone smaller. And if we want to change this, we'll change it to green. Okay, and then that should change to green. Well done. Now, we go to our second page, and we've got, obviously it's not on the second page, so it's not working like that. But we can do that with any element on our document. Like I could change the anchor tags. I could change any of the H tags, paragraphs, all sorts of things. But it does take quite a bit to learn, and I'm going to show you some where you can learn this. Okay, but first, as you can notice here, it's only changed it on one page. There is another thing that we can do with CSS, which does make it a bit easier. We're going to take this out here. Okay, cut that. What we can actually do is link to a central document. But to do that, what we need to do is, first of all, we'll create that central document. So in Notepad, I'm going to go New, and then we are just going to write, I'm going to paste in what I had on my clipboard, but we're not going to need these style tags, so we take these out, and we'll leave it like that. I'm going to change that color to blue just so that we know this is working, and then we're going to save that in our file. So I'm in my first web page, and I'm just going to call this site.css. Now it's a cascading style sheet document, so it does need to finish with .css. However, you can name it whatever you like. I've just called it site.css, and we're going to save it there. So we should see it in our documents, and there it is there. Okay, inside we've just got that piece of text, but now what we need to do is on our first page is we need to link to that. Okay, so that looks like this. I'm going to tab in, I'm going to write link, because that's exactly what it is, our rel equals, it's a style sheet, is the and the type equals text /CSS, and the H reference equals. Now in here all we do now is the hypertext reference equals just the name of whatever that page was that we created, not page, document, or text file. And that's what I called it. I called it site.css. Now I don't need to put a pathway there because it's directly in the same folder as what this one is. So now if we save that, if we refresh this page, hopefully this text will turn blue. There we go, because it picked up that page. Now if I go through here, this is exactly the same, but if I copy this line here, this link, and put it into my second page, then it will come through in that second page. So we're going to save that. We'll go back to our first page, we'll go to our second page, and you can see it's now worked. Okay, so the benefits of that is I could have 50 pages linked to this one file here. And if I want to adjust the size of the text on each page, I'm going to make it 55, and I want it to adjust the colour. So what colour haven't we used? Green, brown, blue. Let's see if pink works. Then all we need to do is save that file. We can click on that and you can see that it's affecting the pages on each site. Okay, right, so there we go. That's the basics of CSS. Now there are 3 different types of CSS, and we've actually been through them all. There's the inline CSS where I can put style there equals, and then we'll just go color. Now this is another interesting thing, because this is closer, or inline, because this is closer to here than what the style sheet is, this will overwrite the link. Anyway, I'm going to show you an example of that soon. Anyway, this is inline CSS, and then we have got internal CSS, where we can put a style here, a style tag, and an end style tag. And in here we can write H1, open curly brackets, color blue. Okay, and that is actually going to override that, which is, this here is an external style sheet. Okay, so if I save that, you should now see that this page will be pink because it doesn't have any of the internal stuff on the second page. And if I click here, you can see now that the blue, that the internal has overridden the external style sheet, and the inline style has overridden the internal, which is also overridden the external. Consequently, that line's green. Okay. Now, like I said, with CSS, there's a huge amount to learn, and there's a lot more than just the colors and the font sizes that you can change on a web page. So I'm going to direct you to this website here, which is W3 Schools. Okay, I want you to go into the CSS section, and there is an awful lot down here of different things that you can do with CSS, and this will help you decide whatever you want to do, you can do with your website. But However, I don't want you to do too much, because I'm going to tell you what I want you to do with the pet shop website. Okay, here we are, the pet shop website. In the next video, I'll be telling you what I want you to do, and then just do that. Don't carry on and do too much more, because there are specific ways that I would like it done. Okay, so that's it for this video. We'll see you guys in the next video.